Welcome to the class. We'll begin with our 15-minute meditation. Hopefully you're comfortable in your home, your surroundings, your abode. And we enter into the spaces of body, mind, senses. Release any desires for a specific outcome, attainments, achievements. Be the objective witness, this patient, delicate process. Having an appreciation of time. Allow these first few breaths where you're bringing your attention, fine-tuning and focusing it. Allow your inhalations to be clearing, expansive. And feel your exhalations relax and root you down. Now see if you can feel the quality of smoothing, heavy sensations for your legs. As much as we allow the bones, muscles, tissues, all that subtle energy you can feel in and throughout your legs, to be encouraged downwards. At the same time, you feel the floor rise up to meet you. Just observe the solid structure of what's beneath the body, unmoving. Very helpful to find root chakra. Anatomically, it's around your pubic bone, coccyx, tailbone, sitting bones. Even as we drive, stand, go about the day, really tune into what the felt or enhanced sense of presence It's like when you bring the attention here, right down to the part of the floor. Notice how the breath moves front, back, and sides. As we come up through the second, third, and fourth chakras. Propriocept your shoulders above the hips. And then an even space throughout the ribs as your arm bones, wrists, fingers are heavy. Continue to relax the legs, bones of the feet. Taking your attention up around the shoulders. To the base of the cervical spine. This area around the clavicles, widest tips of the shoulders, arms. Feel the curvature of the vertebra. But allowing your bones to settle in space. You bring awareness, a light of awareness into these areas so naturally tense. You feel with your breath into the back of the neck, the throat, under the chin, base of the skull. Maybe soften the spaces of your cheeks. This fatty tissue inside, outside the mouth. And then all the little pores in your face. Like little windows allowing the light in. You can smooth out the spaces of the eyes, the eyebrows, the lips and the nose. You're opening the sunroof on the top of the head. What is called in yoga Sushumna Nadi, big central channel axis from the base to the crown. You might be able to feel an upward and downward quality of movement, subtly. Continuing to relax the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips. Now, if you can feel this all pervasive, moving outward, inward, in all directions. Yet somehow still. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Tvamasi, Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om to the truth that you are. May all beings be well, know peace, and be free. Okay. Now we are relaxed. We can move in that fashion with the body. We focus on opening the legs, strengthening them, creating some heat in the core of the body. So we'll lie down to begin. And then see where it takes us. Feet can be bent. You just want to see for a moment, when you lie down, what part of your spine is most grateful first? Feel free to make those little wriggles movements to get even greater space between your vertebrae. Oh. Right knee comes into the chest. And hold the shin. And open the toes of the right foot and give some motion to your ankle. You can feel the bones of the ankle there. And then really get the pelvis under the body. So even with the left knee bent, you're sliding your tailbone down toward the baseline of your mat. And as you squeeze the muscles around the leg, note where you need to move the knee further outside or towards your belly to draw it deeper into the body. You can stay with the left foot on the ground or relax it on your mat. Notice if you stretch your left leg long, try not to let the muscles bow out to the side. So you want to keep the outer hip on the left side squeezing into center, pressing down through your left heel, and maybe through the toes as well. Continuing to kind of squeeze this right leg here into the body. And by all means, there can be little movements kind of side to side, as if you want to laterally spread and massage across your lower back. If it's supporting you with the left leg long and you're not finding too much of an arch in the lower back, you can always rebend the knee, foot on the ground. This can help you support there. Or we straighten and bend through the right leg, holding the back of the thigh. And what we're looking for is as we move in and out, feel that little bit of tensile, sort of heat. It's like just gentle burnings of the legs. Everywhere in the leg, the shin, the calf, and the activation of your foot through the heel or toes will help you in this process. At the same time, you want to anchor the femur bone down into the hip socket. Maybe your hands move on the leg a little as well. Sometimes changing the position of the hands gives us some. And hopefully that's enough of that. We can allow the left hand to come to the left hip, or even hands on the belly, and start to circle your right leg in the air, pointing through the toe. Small little circles. And this is tough. This is tough to keep the integration, to keep everything kind of hogging in and downwards. Not creating too much strain through the shoulders or the neck, so less is more. Circle a few the other way. It's fine if the knees slightly bent. Oh, this is tough. Then walk your hands up the back of the leg, lift the shoulders and head off the mat. As you point through the toes or flex through the heel, you're just drawing yourself a little closer in with the leg. Belly in, outer hips in. Yeah, just feels nice to lift up there. Allow the right leg to relax long beside your left. Maybe stretch your arms back behind you. Just feel maybe the right heel is a little longer away from the left. Walk the legs over to your left side. Pick up the head and the shoulders. The legs go to the left. And the upper body comes left as well to stretch the right side body. So it can just be nice. You can stack the left ankle on top of the right, just like you're doing a side standing stretch. And then come back. Release the position. Find your feet to the mat. Hands can be beside you or on the belly. And rolling the pelvis from neutral to sort of tucked position. And what we're kind of finding here is this little cat-cow-like movement on the mat. And then we draw the left knee in. And really get your pelvis further underneath you to begin with. So you massage deeply into this lumbar curve. Go steady. Does the knee need to go a bit more outside or toward your belly? As you move around the points of compression, the deeper layers of tension in the hip joint. You can move a little side to side, like you're really smoothing out through your sacrum. rising open from left to right. And we can also extend the right leg away. Let's see how that works when we squeeze the side body in. And then feel in the right psoas, the right inner groin. That stretching action there. Ah. And if you find there's too much of space happening in the lower back, though it's hard to kind of stay supported in the lower back, do rebend that right knee and put the foot on the ground, and that can be much easier then to move the limbs. Holding back of the left thigh, we straighten and bend a little. The sensations increase in the leg. Kind of achy sensations, and I'm trying to relax the front ribs, the shoulders, working the outer hip muscles at the same time. Pause in center, hands can be on the belly, pointing through the toes, and create little circles in the air with your toes. Plugging into what you're feeling deep in the hip socket. Trying to smooth out the breath. There's no goal. Always remembering we're just exploring with what is. If we're smart, we can say the goal is already attained, already free. So, and then from here we can walk up the back of the leg, give the back of the neck a stretch. Be looking toward the toes. Both legs active. And then lower the left leg down beside your right, arms reaching up back overhead. Oh, squeezing, stretching. Oh. Walking legs over to the right. You can feel that left hip kind of move over a little further left, upper body to the right as well. And give your side body really nice reach and stretch out. And cross at the ankles. You can hold your left wrist or left elbow. And then we come back in. We'll make a few deep core motions here to stoke the fire in the core of the belly. First, let's interlace the fingers and cup the back of the head. Can you feel the left, right side of your cranium and your center profile line in the center of the fingers? Left and right side of cranium in the palms. Elbows out. Just feel here your connection from the pubic bone, navel, sternum, chin. Your front deep core line. And a nice flat imprint in the back body. The next exhale, you keep the head heavy and draw your elbows together. Begin to peel your head up off the ground. Start to look towards your navel. And a nice sense of traction into the neck, the skull. We lower the head back down. And we'll change the interlace. We'll just release the deep interlace of the fingers. And you just have the fingertips to the back of the head. Hover the shins off the mat. Now feel even with this hovering, the flexing of the feet, it's a lot of work deep into the hips and the lower back. So always stay with this pubic bone, navel, front ribs, sternum, chin. As we begin to lift the head up off the mat, you have to see that the shins are parallel to the floor. It's a lot of work. Right arm outside the left leg as you exhale, right leg long. Take a deep breath as you come to center. And then left arm outside right leg long. Slow yogi bicycle. Come to center. You're nicely supporting with the head. Breath in. Keep everything going. Right arm, right leg. Feel that real deep squeeze into center. Left arm, left leg. One more either side, and you lift the shoulders a little higher. When you come down, let it go. Let's come up into bridge. So feet are under the knees. We lift the hips, arms underneath the body. Find your way into it, but just really enjoy now a lovely opening here for the groins, the belly. Back of the head is relaxed. And feeling the feet, big, firm feet imprints. Lift the hips a little higher. And when you lower down, you can reach your arms back behind you, squeeze along your spine, slowly back to the mat. And we bring the knees in, holding the back of the knees. You can make little circles here or sways. Folding up forehead to the knees. If it works for you to rock up and down or just one and you're done, some people love to roll the spine. Others not so much. We come up into a seated position. And do find your Sukhasana. Sometimes you have to lift the hips, cross at your shins, and let your thighs open out. Bring the arms out wide here into T. The palms are up. And take a moment as you close your eyes and you come into that meditative sort of inward glance again. As you stoke the fire, you're feeling now this expands across your ribs, chest, back, body. Bending your elbows. And like you wanted to guide the elbows wide out into the mat and the hands are facing each other. Activating your forearms, wrists. Try not to let the front ribs kind of lift too far up. We want to scoop the front ribs in and down and get nice and long in the front of the body. Take a breath as we bring the forearms back. And really feel your scapula drawing together. You keep the connection, the pubic bone into the navel, the ribs, opening across the chest, and then maybe the arms come back a little bit more. You can feel your fingertips, you really squeeze your scapula. And then exhale to bring them forwards. And now you're opening them. You're feeling that slide across your back body. Forearms come forward and the hands can touch as well. You can turn the palms to meet. And the chin slightly folds into your throat. Now move with that attention. The hands kind of face out and back. You feel your ribs sink. You take that breath as you squeeze your scapula together. You might even like to lift the throat then when you come to the maximum point. And then fold it all in. Take a few of these here. But pay close attention to your core body. Core movements of the lift, the support as we open across the chest and the back body. 2 more of these. And the next time the arms are open, we'll release the fingertips down. Allow the chin to fold in and just roll out the neck a little side to side. Go slow and pay attention to those side lines. And feel free to pause as the head comes over to one side and nod the head. Lifting, lowering of the chin, or even little circles of your nose. Do the same on the other side, where you really get into those scalene SCM muscles. We lift the chin, circle the nose perhaps a little. Just those movements in space that, working with gravity. And then we'll come to center, lift the arms up and overhead. You can interlace the fingers above us and flip the palms away. Feel what happens here in the ribs, front, side, back, body. Make the ears lift off from the shoulders. We're going to take a deep breath in and hold the breath in. Find Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, chin folding in. Squeeze everything in as you hold your breath in. And as you exhale, relax the arms. Hopefully feel some tension melt away from the shoulders, resting hands down on the legs. You come into all fours, into your tabletop position. And depending where, the tension feels more palpable in the body, do you want to move the hips or the shoulders first? Keep lengthening back through the shins and find that sort of very genuine, authentic way to maybe roll out the pelvis or let the rib cage open and relax. We find this expansion, contraction. It can be linear, it can be circle. And on some days we have to move maybe with more rhythm repetition. Other days we're picking a focal point. We know we have a niggle somewhere in the shoulder or the neck or somewhere in the hip. We'll come into some more rotations and work a bit of balance and get our brains nice and supple. Left leg comes back, you're on the ball of the foot. You want to really feel this anchoring through the pelvis, steadiness in the shoulders. Base in your left hand as you open up your right arm. You just have this feel here of your body in space as your right arm is open, and you're going to challenge your balance a little bit. Take a breath and exhale. Weave your right arm under the left, reaching it out toward the side, and feel the hips and the shoulders scoop in. 2 more of these. As we inhale, lift up. Okay, spread out through your left index finger, thumb. Exhale, fold it in. Last one. Lifting up through the pelvis, fold it in. And we lift the right arm. We lower it back down. Left knee comes in. Turn the fingers out to the side, widest points of the mat. Walk your knees back, scoop them together, and roll and rock your pelvis side to side. Give yourself a little bit of rotation, scooping action there. And we do the same thing the other side. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Having a sense of the bones, the knees, the hips, right toes back. You can really spread out the toes. Scoop the muscles up and in of your front body. As you start to lift the left arm, just play with that balance there. Nice strength for your right arm. Exhale as you weave it underneath. Feel the hips supporting, shoulders squaring. So this lovely stable base through your body. We're challenging the whole body here. We're doing 3. You can feel the right leg nice and long, light on the toes. Coming under, you feel that chin, chest, navel, pubic bone line of your front body. Last time as you lift and you hold the left arm in the air for a moment. And we come back down. The right knee comes in. Let's walk the hands forward and lay down onto the belly, but on your forearms. So just to give your upper body the support and rock the hips side to side. As much as we can, we kind of want to scoop, make space in the thighs, bring the pubic bone a little higher up toward the heart. And continue that little shimmy side to side in the legs. And you can even lift your shins and circle the ankles here. And we can open the legs a little bit wide, sort of as wide as the mat, toes spreading back behind you. And we'll come down and take the fingertips outside the mat, elbows lifted, with some serpentine cobras. So extend back through the toes, feel your legs pressing down, and begin to lift up. And continuing to feel the legs working, squeezing a little through the lower back, the belly, and lowering down again. You can move the fingers anywhere you need. Feel that work in your knuckles, fingertips, a few times lifting and lowering. Remember to really stretch through the legs with feet pressing down. Maybe you're making more space as you go. Working the muscles either side of your spine. Last one. And lowering. And we'll take the hands either side of the ribs. Let's press back into child's pose. Maybe the knees open. Really feel your pelvis sliding back to your heels. You might sway a little side to side or move your hips a little side to side. Rock on the forehead maybe. And then we come up. Downward facing dog. Really lengthen out your index fingers. Find that strength there through that inside of the hands. And as you lift the hips high, begin to stretch the balls of the feet. Feel those anchor points of toes, fingers. And that lift of your core. You can lift, shimmy through the hips, kind of sway your pelvis. You can begin to walk the hands back toward the feet. Deep bend in your knees. Slide your hands under your feet if you can, the fingers under the toes. Oh, and try to let the head relax. take a moment as you feel the toes on your hands, spreading out the little bones, joints. Big stretch for the spine. Bend the knees as much as you need, kind of move a little bit through the legs. We'll release the hands. So heel our feet, toes out to the side. As you come down into your squat, the heels can lift. But how do we find Mula Bandha in the squat? Remember when we're meditating and we really found the pelvic floor? If you find it here, feel your heart lift. Wow, nice. Yes. We'll bring the hands back behind. Find our way to the floor once more. We'll roll down onto the back. And what could feel really good here is a deep belly twist. As we hug the knees into the chest, hips a little out to your left. And then as you squeeze the ankles, inner knees together, letting them come over to your right. You can always bring your right forearm to the thigh and start to stretch open across the left ribs, chest. Elbow can be bent, arm in any sort of direction or position. That's taking your chest in one way and your hips in the other. Big belly breaths. Finding that downward, upward quality here in the pose, along your spine. And then legs come back to the middle of the mat. You can always reestablish your spine, back body. As you lift the feet off the ground, the knees, the ankles squeeze together. You can move the hips gently over to the right side, and then feel the legs, knees go to your left. As you open up the right arm, you get that idea, the chest is moving to the right, rotating through the belly. Feeling the pelvis move out to the left. Maybe we're tighter on one side than the other. As we send the breath down. Now, accessing that quality of letting go, relaxing. Gently bring the body back. We would choose a position of resting. It could be constructive rest where the feet are wide and the inner knees are touching. It might feel nice even just to feel this position for a moment. The low spine. If you're warm enough or you need warm clothes and you want to find Shavasana, legs long. Take a moment to relax. Let the body go to the ground. The words of inspiration, stoking the wise fires. The divine disposition. We explore the values, the qualities of the minds and hearts that are committed to the divine path of inner wealth. And this can provide us a template for seeking freedom. Be desirous to cultivate a pure, refined mind, fit for inquiry, fit for knowledge. One has to be fearless. In the words of the Taittiriya Upanishad, it said, when one realizes the self, in whom all life is changeless, nameless, formless, then one fears no more. But until we realize the unity, the yogaha of all life, it's possible to live in fear. So cultivate a pure mind, which comes from clear discrimination, healthy value system, being steadfast, sustained contemplation. And it's only possible when you appreciate, understand the true value of understanding what you are. Freedom, bliss, peace. And so, beautiful friends, dearest Annabelle, dearest Harriet, all the love to you. Blessings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.